What is up, guys? It's Christmas, and normally this would be the time for cheer and being with family and all that stuff. And I am on vacation in Utah, but I saw this story and I figured that we should talk about it because our nation is kind of in a really bad state right now, and I think this kind of showcases that. So let's just jump right into it. So today, a bomb went off in Nashville, damaged 20 buildings, and injured three people. Luckily, so far, it doesn't seem like anybody was killed, um, and that's a good thing. But still, it's a lot of damage. So before I actually read the story, let's go ahead and watch this video that I got um, on Reddit. It's a video of the immediate aftermath.
Oh shit!
Okay, so as you can see, there is a massive amount of damage. I mean, I don't know if the thing that was on fire, like right in the foreground there, was the actual vehicle that exploded, or if it was farther back. But right around there is probably where it was. So let's go ahead and read. The FBI was leading an investigation Friday into an explosion that erupted in downtown early Christmas morning. Um, and it's being called intentional by authorities, and you'll see why in a second. Uh, so police were actually responding to reports of shots fired near 2nd Avenue and Commerce Street before 6 a.m. when they saw a suspicious RV outside nearby the AT&T building. Officers alerted the officers alerted the department's bomb squad, which was en route when a significant explosion happened about 30 minutes later. Um, Betsy Williams, the owner of the Melting Pot, a restaurant across the street from the explosion, told the Tennessean that guests reported the RV was stationed there since Thursday night. So the suspicious RV was actually there since last night. Williams, who lives in a loft apartment on the third floor of the restaurant building, said she heard the sound of loud, rapid-fire gunshots at about 4:30 a.m. After multiple rounds of gunshot sounds, Williams said she called 911. Then she said she heard a repeated warning that she said came from the RV parked outside her building. Quote, "Evacuate now, there is a bomb. A bomb is in this vehicle and will explode." Then she said the voice started a 15-minute countdown. Her family headed to Nissan Stadium about a half-mile away and waited. When they didn't hear an explosion, they headed back. That was when they saw a fireball fly over the AT&T building on 2nd Avenue. Quote, "Whoever did it gave fair warning." Uh, Three people were hospitalized with injuries, police said. None are in critical condition, so it seems to be minor injuries, so thank God for that. At least 20 buildings were damaged. It was unclear whether anyone was inside the RV when it exploded, uh, because this just happened today, so it's they're still looking into it, probably still searching through all the debris, and we'll probably find out more later. Um, Nashville Metro Police were going door to door with canines in the downtown areas to search nearby buildings and automobiles. Um, though there's no indication of any additional devices. Several people were taken to the department's central precinct for questioning, but authorities, they're not giving any more details. Obviously, the FBI is taking the lead on this. Um, the sound of the explosion could be heard miles away. Plumes of black smoke filled the air, and several fires flared along what is typically a busy street that intersects with Nashville's famed tourist attraction. Alarms inside several buildings were heard going off, water pouring into some buildings, causing structural damage, breaking windows. Trees lining Second Avenue were blackened. AT&T internet and phone service was reportedly disrupted nationwide, but mainly throughout Tennessee because of the explosion, which took place near the AT&T service facility. Now, remember that point because I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Flights out of Nashville International Airport were halted Friday because telecommunications issues associated with the incident. So this affected the airport too. Uh, though the airport said that the issues are supposed to be resolved by about 3 p.m. Um, there's a $10,000 contribution toward a reward for information. Um, Statement said the state will provide needed resources to determine what happened. So the state's going to be working with the FBI. Um, yeah, it looks like a bomb went off. Downtown area will be sealed off for further investigation and to make sure everything is completely safe because they don't know if there's more bombs, if it's a one-time thing. Um, I think they're probably gonna, look around a lot more, including not just the area where it went off, but probably more so in the city too. Uh, he said the city, uh, Cooper said that the city was lucky that the number of injuries from the explosion was limited. Um, President Trump's been briefed on it and will continue to get regular updates. Uh, Quote, the president is grateful for the incredible first responders and praying for those who were injured. Um, Andrew Carr, who was staying at the Viridian Apartments, uh, told the Tennessean he jumped out of bed when he heard what sounded like a giant thunderclap. He looked out the window and said he saw a huge fireball rising up behind the AT&T building, describing it as almost as wide as the building itself. Uh, Residents of the buildings have been told to lock down. Um, the Red Cross is opening with officials to open a shelter for victims because some of these people's homes are like destroyed and messed up right now, so they can't really go home. Um, so yeah, they're looking into this, and here's some photos and videos before we talk about the aftermath. Like you can see right here, there's massive fires on the street. Um, this let's look at this. I mean, just look at the damage to this building. And I don't even think this building was. I don't even think this building was. Just all that damage. I don't think that that building was actually that close to the blast because in this picture, this seems to be where the blast was, where most of the fire was. And in this video, there's no fire out front in front of this building, so I mean, this must have either been, across the street or maybe farther down the street. But that's a lot. I mean, just look at that. Just all the way to, like there's windows smashed out in these buildings over here, which is down the street from the blast. Like there's a lot. Yeah, major damage to buildings close to and around the scene of the explosion. Um, Hundreds of yards from the explosion, you've got glass blown out of these buildings. You've got this building here.
Oh my God.
Good
Just
morning,
It's
yeah.
the fucking
Nashville.
building's on fire, Sydney. I told you it was. Oh
Look
my
how
God.
far.
Good morning,
It's the
Nashville.
Like look how far from
The building's on
this
fire,
is.
Sydney.
This is very far. This is I want to say maybe like 300, 400 yards probably from this smoke over here. I mean, maybe it's closer because, the camera it doesn't like to judge distance too much. Maybe it's closer, but this looks kind of far to me. At least 2 blocks. At least 2 blocks. Um, and it looks like something actually went through that window if you look at it. Um, and you can see the smoke all the way from blocks away, probably miles too. So anyway, so I actually originally saw this on Facebook, and some of the interesting comments pointed out that um, it doesn't seem like this was intended to hurt anybody or kill anybody because of the fact that there was a warning that accompanied uh, the suspicious vehicle before the explosion. And from what it said, the one quote that the lady said is that it started a 15-minute countdown, and police were actually there half an hour before it went off. So now I'm not sure if maybe she didn't hear it at first and the countdown was going for half an hour, or if the countdown started at 15 minutes and the warning was going for 15 minutes before the 15-minute countdown. Either way, it seems like ample time was given for people to evacuate the area and, for police to set up in preparation in case it did explode or respond to it. And some of the comments were interesting. Um, One of the comments was talking about that because it didn't kill anybody and it gave ample warning, that this was possibly just uh, a warning, a message that is being sent. Um, Not sure what kind of message you could send by, just blowing something up and not explaining as to why you did it, but it is a theory. And then a second theory is that this was um, a reaction time test to see how it is that police respond to this and how long it takes them to respond and in what way they respond to this incident. Um, Perhaps in preparation for a different type of bomb in the future or possibly another attack or something like that. And not sure what the significance of it happening on Christmas is either, but at a time when our nation is, very much so in turmoil, this was really not something we needed. And it remains to be seen kind of what may happen. Now, interesting enough, the next thing I want to say is something that I thought about, and it relates to a TV show actually, a situation that happened in a TV show. Now, if any of you guys have ever seen the show Monk, you might remember an episode where somebody bombed a power substation, knocking out power to San Francisco. And in that episode, the guy was bombing it because he was supposed to have died. He faked his death, and he went to a some type of like music TV show, and he was caught on camera, and he tries to hide his face, but he feared that somebody might recognize him, so he planted bombs and blew up the power grid and stuff like that to disrupt the broadcast and hopefully, you know, prevent people from seeing his face. And he did it a couple of times. Now, this is not entirely the same thing, but it was put in front of the AT&T service facility, right? And when it blew up, it it not only disrupted Tennessee, but it also apparently disrupted some stuff nationwide, but it was mostly throughout Tennessee. Perhaps Perhaps it's something maybe like that. Maybe this person had something that they didn't want to get out and it had something to do with the AT&T service network. Perhaps it's just a disgruntled employee who wanted to destroy an AT&T building. Well, we don't know yet. That's what the investigation is for. However, I just thought maybe I'd throw my own theory out there. It's not really my theory, but it's just something that I thought might be an idea as to something that could be happening. Now, like I said about the other two theories, I actually find those more plausible than what I just said. The fact that it was probably perhaps a test to see, you know, response times and stuff like that. But we honestly don't really know. Um, and we won't for a while because this literally just happened. I mean, as I'm telling you this story, the police have it blocked off and everything, and they're currently trying to piece this together and going and collecting evidence and probably trying to put fires out and stop uh, buildings from flooding and all that stuff. So it remains to be seen, but this is just it's terrible. I mean, the only good thing I can say about this is the fact that there was a warning and that people evacuated and that there were only 3 injuries, and apparently they're not critical injuries. So, had there been no warning, um, this could have been devastating. I mean, with all the damage we saw, it could have hurt a lot more people. So I'm thankful for that. Um, but we'll kind of figure out what's going on with this story, and we'll kind of, take a look at it as it develops, and I'll let you guys know what's going on. So if you guys want to keep up to date with, that, and, hear some more about this story and maybe some of my other stories that I've talked about on this channel, you guys can go ahead and like and subscribe and share this video. Um, and, if you guys find any more information that, as time goes on, if you want to drop it in a comment down below, that would be greatly appreciated. Um, so yeah, just, if you guys like this video, make sure to also hit that notification bell so that way you know when I drop some more stories, and possibly that way you'll know an update for this story. I don't know when I'll be able to do it because I am currently on vacation, and I wasn't planning on doing this video or any video for like the next week, but I felt like this was kind of important and that I needed to do something and needed to talk about it. We're in a very precarious state, and it really truly scares me. Um, so, everybody stay safe and happy holidays. And hopefully the citizens of Nashville can, pull together right now and try to make the best of Christmas today. And be thankful that, nobody was seriously hurt. Um, I know with everything going on, a lot of these people might not be able to fix their businesses, and that's unfortunate. But even if they can't, repair the businesses or repair their um, their homes and their belongings, at least they're still alive. At least there's that. So that's something to be thankful for. Anyway, guys, Merry Christmas, and tune in, and I'll be sure to update you guys if any major developments happen, either today or over the next couple days. All right, guys, have a good one.